My name is Emily Carter, 39, the eldest of three sisters in a tight-knit family from Portland, Oregon. Growing up, I was the dependable one cooking dinner when Mom worked late, helping with homework, and mediating squabbles between my younger sisters, Lila and Hannah. It wasn't a burden back then, it was just life. Lila, the middle child, was the charismatic dreamer, always chasing the spotlight. Hannah, the youngest, was the free spirit, indulged and excused at every turn. I cleaned up their messes, literal and figurative, and never thought much of it until I became a mother. I adopted my daughter, Ava, when she was 4, a quiet girl with wide hazel eyes and a guarded smile that broke my heart. She'd been through too much in her short life, and I made a vow the day I brought her home. She'd never feel like an outsider in my family. My husband, Daniel, embraced her instantly, and together we built a home filled with warmth and stability. But keeping that promise proved harder than I'd imagined, especially with my sisters. Last summer, Lila announced her engagement to her boyfriend, Owen, a tech entrepreneur with a flair for extravagance. The news came via a glossy Instagram reel, Lila flashing a diamond ring on a rooftop, Owen beaming, and a caption that read, "Forever starts now." Ava, then 17, was thrilled. She spent hours sketching a congratulations card, decorating it with intricate floral designs. Lila thanked her with a quick, "So cute," but left the card on our coffee table, forgotten under a pile of magazines. The engagement party was set for a warm August evening at a chic vineyard outside Portland. Lila had been hyping it for weeks, posting about the venue, the catering, and her custom dress. Ava was nervous but excited, asking me if her navy sundress was fancy enough, and practicing how she'd congratulate Lila. I reassured her, "You'll be great, kiddo. They're lucky to have you there." Then, a week before the event, Lila called. Just a heads up," she said, her voice breezy. "The party's adults only, 21 and up. Venue rules. You know, no hard feelings. Right?" I froze, the phone heavy in my hand. Ava was sitting at the kitchen table, earbuds in, working on a school project. Ava's 17. "Lila," I said, keeping my voice even. "She's your niece, not some random kid." Lila sighed, as if I were being difficult. "I know, but we're keeping it consistent. No exceptions. You and Daniel are still coming, though, right?" I glanced at Ava, her head bent over her laptop, oblivious to the conversation that was about to crush her. "No," I said quietly. "If Ava's not welcome, we're not coming." Lila paused, then laughed, like I was joking. "Seriously? It's one night? Don't make it a thing." But it was a thing. It was my daughter being excluded by her own family, and I wasn't going to pretend it was okay. I hung up without another word. Ava overheard enough to piece it together. "I'm not invited." "Am I?" she asked, her voice small. I tried to soften it. "It's an adults-only event, sweetheart. It's not personal." But her eyes, those same wary eyes from when we met, told me she didn't believe me. "Is it because I'm adopted?" she said. So matter-of-factly it felt like a punch. "No," I said, pulling her into a hug. "Absolutely not. This is about their rules, not you." But I wasn't sure I believed it myself. The fallout was swift. Hannah texted me, "Lila's upset you're skipping the party. What's the deal?" Mom called, her tone a mix of concern and reproach. "Emily, it's just a venue policy. Ava will have plenty of other chances to celebrate with Lila." I held firm. "She's family. Mom, if she's not included, we're not there." The group chat lit up with passive-aggressive jabs. Hannah, "Wow, way to make it all about you." Lila, "It's not like Ava's the only one not coming. Chill." I didn't respond. I deleted the chat and focused on Ava, who quietly erased the party from her calendar app. That should have been the end of it. But the exclusion lingered, a wound that refused to heal. Ava stopped talking about Lila's wedding, her excitement replaced by a quiet resignation that hurt more than tears. I realized then that my family's subtle rejections, forgotten cards, half-hearted greetings had taught her to expect less, and I was done letting them. The engagement party's snub wasn't an isolated incident. It was the latest in a long line of slights that Ava had endured from my family. I'd spent years excusing their behavior, chalking it up to busyness or awkwardness. But the truth was clearer now. Ava's adoption had always been a quiet divide, an unspoken barrier that my sisters and parents never fully crossed. When Ava joined our family, she was a cautious 4-year-old, clutching a tattered stuffed rabbit and watching every move Daniel and I made. The first time she called me Mom, I had to pull over on the way to her daycare, tears blurring my vision. Daniel, ever steady, said, "She's ours now. We'll make sure she knows it." But my extended family struggled to embrace her. Mom referred to Ava as Emily's daughter instead of my granddaughter. Leila once asked, in front of Ava, "Are you going to adopt another kid? Or is this it?" Hannah's kids got personalized Christmas stockings from our parents. Ava's was a generic red one with no name. These moments weren't loud or overt, they were soft, slippery, easy to dismiss if you weren't paying attention. But Ava was always paying attention. At 7, she asked why Grandma never hung her drawings on the fridge like her cousins. At 10, she noticed Lila didn't invite her to a girls' day with Hannah's daughters. I'd redirect, reassure, make excuses. "They're just busy, sweetheart." But by 17, Ava had stopped asking. She'd learned to expect exclusion, and that realization gutted me. The engagement party was just the tipping point. After I declined to attend, the family's reaction was a mix of guilt-tripping and gaslighting. Mom called again, her voice heavy with disappointment. "Emily, you're punishing Lila over a venue rule. Ava's almost an adult, she'll understand." I bit back my anger. "She understands she wasn't wanted." "Mom, that's the problem." Hannah sent a long text. "You're blowing this out of proportion. It's not about Ava, it's about keeping the event classy. Why do you always make everything a drama?" I didn't reply. Their defensiveness only confirmed what I'd suspected. Ava's exclusion wasn't an accident. Ava, meanwhile, retreated inward. She stopped sketching for a few days, her usual outlet abandoned. One night, as we washed dishes together, she said, "Maybe I should have expected it. Aunt Lila's never really liked me." I turned off the faucet, drying my hands. "She doesn't dislike you, Ava. She just doesn't see you." Ava's lips pressed into a thin line. "That's worse," she said. I couldn't argue with that. The family's silence in the weeks that followed was telling. No one apologized. No one reached out to Ava. Lila posted engagement party photos on Instagram, laughing with Hannah, clinking glasses with Owen. Not a hint of regret. I unfollowed her. Not out of spite, but self-preservation. Daniel, sensing my frustration, suggested we plan something special for Ava. "Let's show her she's enough," he said. So we took her to an art gallery downtown, where she spent hours studying paintings and jotting notes for her portfolio. Her smile returned, but it was guarded, as if she was bracing for the next rejection. As fall turned to winter, I started rethinking our family traditions. For years, I'd hosted Thanksgiving at our house, a chaotic affair with my sisters, parents, and a rotating cast of cousins. I'd cook for days, set up extra tables, and bite my tongue when Lila made snide comments or Hannah ignored Ava's attempts to join conversations. This year, I wasn't sure I could do it. Ava deserved better than a room full of people who made her feel invisible. When Hannah texted in early November, "Hey, what's the plan for Thanksgiving?" "Same as always." I didn't respond. Daniel noticed my hesitation. "You don't owe them anything," he said. "Not after this." I nodded. But the weight of breaking tradition was heavy. I'd always been the glue, the one who kept the family together. Letting go felt like betraying that role, but staying felt like betraying Ava. By mid-November, the family's messages about Thanksgiving were relentless. Mom, Emily, we're counting on you for the holiday. Let's not let one misunderstanding ruin everything. Lila, can't wait for your mashed potatoes. Tell Ava to bring her sketchbook. Owen loves art. The hypocrisy was staggering. They acted as if the engagement party never happened, as if Ava's exclusion was a minor hiccup. I ignored the texts, letting them pile up unread. Ava noticed the shift. Are we doing Thanksgiving here? She asked one evening, helping me fold laundry. I hesitated. I'm thinking we do something different this year. Just us. Her eyes lit up, but there was a flicker of doubt. Won't Grandma be mad? She said. I smiled, trying to ease her worry. Let me handle Grandma. You just think about what dessert you want. She grinned, suggesting chocolate tart. And for a moment, I felt like I was doing the right thing. Daniel supported the plan. We've been hosting for years. It's time we prioritize our family. So, instead of prepping a turkey or digging out extra chairs, we planned a cozy Thanksgiving for 3. Ava picked the menu: herb-roasted chicken, garlic mashed potatoes, and that chocolate tart. Daniel booked a cabin in the Oregon woods for the weekend, a getaway to hike and stargaze. It felt like a rebellion, quiet but deliberate. The family didn't take it well. When no one got a response, the calls started. Mom left a voicemail. Emily, I'm worried. This isn't like you. Please tell me you're not skipping Thanksgiving over the party. Hannah texted. Wow, really? You're just ghosting us now? Lila sent a voice memo, her tone dripping with sarcasm. Guess we'll have to eat canned cranberry sauce without you. Hope Ava's happy. I deleted it without listening to the end. Thanksgiving was everything I'd hoped. We cooked together, laughing when Ava's tart crust crumbled. The cabin was rustic but warm, with a fireplace that crackled as we played board games. Ava sketched the view from the porch, her pencil moving with a freedom I hadn't seen in months. For the first time in years, there were no tense silences, no need to translate barbed comments. It was just us, and it was enough. But the family's reaction was explosive. On Black Friday, the group chat erupted. Hannah, so you just ditched us. Classy. Mom, I can't believe you'd do this to your father. He was so hurt. Lila, I hope you're proud. Making this all about Ava. You're tearing the family apart. I didn't respond, but their words stung. I'd always been the peacemaker, the one who smoothed things over. Now, I was the villain, and it was disorienting. Ava saw the notifications lighting up my phone. Are they mad? She asked, her voice soft. I nodded. They're not used to me saying no. She looked down, twisting her bracelet. I don't want you to lose them because of me. My heart ached. Ava, this isn't about losing them. It's about choosing you. You're my family, and you come first. She hugged me, and I felt her shoulders relax. But I knew the weight of their rejection was still there. As Christmas approached, I made another decision. I wouldn't host, wouldn't invite them, wouldn't pretend their apologies, if they ever came, could erase Ava's pain. It wasn't revenge, it was self-preservation. But I underestimated how deeply my silence would cut. December brought a flurry of holiday plans, but none involved my extended family. For years, I'd hosted Christmas Eve dinner, a tradition I'd inherited from Mom. The house would be packed, Lila and Owen, Hannah and her kids, my parents, and a few cousins. I'd spend days cooking, decorating, and swallowing my frustration when Lila critiqued the menu or Hannah ignored Ava's attempts to help. This year, I was done. When the group chat started buzzing with holiday plans, you doing the usual Christmas spread? I stayed silent. Daniel noticed my phone lighting up. You sure about this? He asked. I nodded. They don't get to hurt Ava and expect an invitation. Ava, overhearing, looked conflicted. What if they think I made you do this? She said. I knelt beside her. They can think what they want. This is my choice. And it's for us. She nodded. But I saw the doubt in her eyes. We planned a quiet Christmas, our first, without the chaos of extended family. Ava wanted to bake gingerbread cookies. Daniel suggested a movie marathon. And I ordered a small ham instead of the usual feast. It felt strange. Almost too simple, but also liberating. No extra chairs. No forced smiles. No navigating Lila's passive-aggressive jabs. The family's reaction was predictable. Mom called. Emily, are we not doing Christmas at your place? Your father's confused. Hannah texted. So you're just canceling tradition now. Nice. Lila sent a long message. I get that you're mad about the party, but punishing everyone is low. Ava's not a baby she can handle not being invited to one event. I didn't respond. Their entitlement was staggering, but their silence about Ava's feelings was louder. Christmas Eve was perfect. We decorated a small tree, hung Ava's handmade ornaments, and laughed as Daniel burned the first batch of cookies. Ava sketched us by the fireplace, her pencil capturing Daniel's goofy grin and my messy bun. For the first time, our home felt like a sanctuary, not a stage for family drama. But the backlash came fast. On Christmas Day, Mom sent a photo of their tree with a caption, "Missed you all." Ava would have loved her gift. The implication was clear. I'd deprived Ava of their love. Hannah posted a cryptic Instagram story. Families supposed to stick together, not tear apart. Lila texted the group chat. Guess M's too good for us now. Hope Ava appreciates it. I blocked them all, my hands shaking with anger. Ava saw the tension. They're really mad, aren't they? She said, her voice quiet. I nodded. They're mad because they can't control me anymore. That's not your fault. She hugged me, but I knew she felt responsible. That night, as we watched It's a Wonderful Life, she whispered, "Thanks for choosing me." Mom. I squeezed her hand, fighting tears. Always, kiddo. The family's silence after Christmas was eerie, but I knew it wouldn't last. They'd come back, not with apologies, but with guilt and manipulation. And I was ready. January 2025 arrived with a biting chill in Portland, the kind that seeped into your bones and made every step feel heavier. I was still reeling from our quiet Christmas, a holiday that had been both a relief and a reckoning. Ava was thriving, her college applications nearly complete, her sketches filling our home with bursts of color. But the absence of my extended family lingered like a shadow, their silence a mix of resentment and expectation. I knew they wouldn't stay quiet forever, and I was right. It was a Thursday evening, the sky bruised with storm clouds. When the doorbell rang, I was unpacking groceries, avocados and canned tomatoes scattered across the counter. Daniel was at a late meeting, and Ava was upstairs, headphones on, working on her portfolio for a design school in Seattle. I opened the door, still holding a bag of apples, and froze. My parents stood on the porch, Mom clutching a tin of her lemon bars, Dad's hands shoved deep into his coat pockets. Their faces were a mix of determination and discomfort, like they'd rehearsed this moment but weren't sure it would work. "Emily," Mom said, her voice overly warm, "we thought we'd stop by. Can we talk?" Her smile was fragile, the kind that cracked under pressure. Dad shifted his weight, his eyes scanning the porch as if he'd rather be anywhere else. "It's cold out here," he said gruffly. "Can we come in?" I set the apples down, my pulse quickening. "No," I said, my tone flat but firm. "Say what you need to say here." Mom's smile faltered, her fingers tightening around the tin. "Emily, please. Christmas was so hard without you. We're still your family, and we miss you." Her voice trembled, but I wasn't moved. I'd heard this script before, guilt dressed up as love. Dad chimed in, his voice sharper. "You're making a mistake. Emily, You're pushing away everyone who cares about you over, what? A misunderstanding. The word misunderstanding lit a fire in me. Ava's exclusion wasn't a misunderstanding, it was a choice. Ava wasn't invited to Lila's engagement party, I said, my voice steady. She's your granddaughter. And you all acted like she didn't exist. That's not a misunderstanding. That's rejection. Mom's eyes welled up, but she pressed on. She's 17. Emily. She's going to college soon. She won't need you like this forever. Don't throw away your real family for a girl who'll leave you. My stomach twisted, her words slicing through years of excuses I'd made for them. Ava is my real family, I said, my voice rising. She's my daughter, not some temporary guest. And she's not going anywhere. Dad scoffed, stepping closer. You're being naive. You've let this girl come between you and everyone who's known you your whole life. She's not blood, Emily. She's not one of us. The air went still, his words hanging like a guillotine. Mom didn't contradict him, she just looked away, her tears a weak apology. I took a deep breath, my hands trembling but my resolve ironclad. You need to leave, I said, stepping back. Now. Dad's face reddened. Emily, don't do this. We're trying to help you. But I was done listening. You don't get to insult my daughter to my face and call it help. You don't get to stand here with baked goods and pity and expect me to let you in. Get off my porch. Mom's sobs broke free, loud and theatrical. You'll regret this, she said, her voice cracking. When she's gone, when she forgets you, you'll come back. Our door will always be open. I didn't respond. I closed the door, locked it, and leaned against it, my heart pounding. Their footsteps faded, followed by the hum of their car pulling away. The house was quiet, save for the faint music from Ava's room. I stood there for a long time, the lemon bars untouched on the counter, a symbol of their hollow gestures. The next morning, I told Ava, I'd promised never to lie to her, not about the big things, and this was too big to hide. We sat at the kitchen table, coffee mugs between us, and I recounted every word. Her face was still, her hands clenched around her mug. They think I'll leave you, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I nodded, my throat tight. They hope you will, so I'll need them again. But they don't know you, Ava. They don't know us. Her eyes met mine, fierce and clear. They don't get to decide who I am, she said. I reached for her hand, pride swelling in my chest. No, they don't. But the confrontation wasn't the end. A week later, my cousin Rachel forwarded an email Hannah had sent to the extended family. It was a venomous tirade, painting Ava as a manipulative teen who'd brainwashed me into cutting ties. She called me unstable, obsessed, unable to see reason. Emily's always been dramatic, she wrote. But this is unhealthy. Ava's driven a wedge between her and everyone else. The email was forwarded to dozens of relatives, a calculated move to rally support. The fallout was immediate. Aunt Susan called, her voice dripping with concern. Emily, are you okay? This doesn't sound like you. My uncle texted Daniel, asking if I was having a breakdown. A distant cousin left a comment on Ava's Instagram. You're lucky to have a home. Don't forget that. Ava saw it before I could delete it, her face crumpling as she closed her laptop. Why do they hate me? She whispered. I pulled her into a hug. They don't hate you, sweetheart. They're scared of what you represent, a choice they can't control. I couldn't let it stand. Their lies were poisoning Ava's confidence, her sense of belonging. I spent a weekend compiling evident screenshots of ignored texts, photos of Ava's forgotten gifts, records of every exclusion. I wrote a letter, not emotional but factual, laying out the truth. The engagement party snub, the half-hearted holiday gestures, the years of subtle rejection. I sent it to the extended family with the subject line, "The truth about Ava." I didn't ask for sides or apologies. I just wanted Ava to know I'd fought for her. The responses were mixed. Some cousins apologized, admitting they hadn't seen the pattern. Others stayed silent, likely siding with Hannah. It didn't matter. I'd done it for Ava, so she'd never doubt her worth again. The dossier I sent to the extended family was a line in the sand, a declaration that I wouldn't let their lies define Ava's story. The aftermath was a quiet unraveling. Some relatives reached out, their messages tentative but sincere. My cousin Rachel, who'd forwarded Hannah's email, called to apologize. "I didn't realize how bad it was," she said. "I should have spoken up sooner." A few others sent texts, acknowledging their complicity in the family's silence. But the core players, Mom, Dad, Lila, and Hannah doubled down. Hannah sent a scathing text. "You're pathetic. Emily, airing family drama like that. You're just proving my point." Lila posted a vague Instagram story. Some people would rather burn bridges than build them. Mom's response was the most painful, a handwritten letter slipped into our mailbox. No return address. "We're still your family. Emily." She wrote, "Don't let Ava take that away. We'll always love you, even if you can't see it now." I read it once, then burned it in this fireplace, watching the paper curl into ash. Their words weren't love, they were control, and I was done bending to them. Ava, meanwhile, was a beacon of strength. She'd been accepted into her dream design school in Seattle, her portfolio earning praise from the admissions panel. Every night, she'd call or text, sharing sketches or stories about her latest project. "Look at this, Mom," she'd say, sending a photo of a vibrant watercolor. Her confidence was blooming, but I knew the family's rejection still lingered. One evening, as we FaceTimed, she paused, her pencil hovering over her sketchbook. "Do you think they'll ever apologize?" she asked. I sighed. "I don't know, sweetheart, but their apology wouldn't change who they are." She nodded, her jaw set. "I don't need them anymore," she said, and I believed her. Our home became a sanctuary, free from the chaos of family expectations. Daniel and I started new traditions, Sunday brunches with close friends, summer camping trips where Ava taught us to fish, winter art nights where we'd paint alongside her, laughing at our clumsy attempts. These moments weren't just distractions. They were proof that family could be chosen. Built on love instead of obligation, Ava thrived in this space, her sketches reflecting a newfound boldness, vibrant colors, daring lines, a mirror of her growing self-assurance. But the family didn't fade quietly. Lila tried to reach out through mutual friends, spinning a narrative that I'd overreacted to a minor slight. Hannah's email had rallied a few distant relatives who sent passive-aggressive messages about forgiveness and family unity. I blocked them without hesitation. Mom made one last attempt, leaving a voicemail. "Emily, your father's not sleeping. We know we hurt you, but this isn't the way. Let's talk." I deleted it. Their regret wasn't about Ava, it was about losing their grip on me. The hardest moment came when Ava graduated high school in June. I'd half expected my parents to show up, uninvited, with forced smiles and empty apologies. They didn't. Instead, Hannah sent a card with a generic congratulations and a $50 gift card. Ava opened it, read it, and tossed it into the recycling bin without a word. "They don't get to pretend now," she said, her voice steady. I hugged her, my pride in her resilience outweighing the sting of their absence. As Ava prepared for college, I found myself reflecting on the journey that had brought us here. I thought about the day I met her, a 4-year-old with wary eyes and a tattered rabbit, unsure if she could trust me. I thought about the promise I'd made. She'd never feel unwanted. I'd kept that promise, not by fighting for my family's approval, but by choosing her over their conditional love. Every ignored invitation, every forgotten gift, every exclusion had been a lesson in what family wasn't. Ava had taught me what it could be. Sometimes, late at night, I wonder if I was too harsh, if I should have tried harder to mend the rift. But then I see Ava's sketches pinned to our fridge. Her confident smile as she packs for college. The way she signs her texts, love. Your daughter. I remember the night on the porch. Mom's lemon bars a hollow gesture. Dad's words. She's not one of us. A truth they couldn't unsay. I remember Ava's voice. Fierce and clear. They don't get to decide who I am. My sisters and parents may still talk about me, painting me as the stubborn eldest who tore the family apart. Let them. They lost the right to know Ava, to witness her brilliance, her kindness, her unyielding spirit. I chose my family, Daniel, Ava, and the life we've built from scratch. If they're waiting for me to come crawling back, they'll be waiting forever, because I'm not the one who's lost anything they are.